became a career firefighter with the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Service, the chief of the medical division, or EMS, the unofficial historian of the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services. Over 65,000 digital images and newspaper articles, magazine articles, etc. Episode 25-8, Ellicott City Volunteer Fire Department, the 50s and 60s, by George. That's George Edward Massey. The following images are from the 50s and 60s, the collection from Eddie Massey's personal collection. They will be, once again, of the Ellicott City Fire Department and or photos that he took of several parades, etc. So that's what we'll be talking about today. First image that we're looking at is from March 16th, 1957. It was foam training that was conducted on Gray Rock Farm, which is Charlie Miller's old farm on Frederick Road near Font Hill. In the image, Eddie Massey can be seen with his hands behind his back. Bobby Cross is on the ladder. Buck Delosier is on the nozzle. And John Stewart, I believe, is sitting on the tailboard. Next image, still from the foam training on the 16th of March, 1957. As we're looking at this particular image, please note the road that you see in back of the fire engines is Frederick Road, and it is actually approaching the entrance to Font Hill, going up the hill, and Font Hill entrance, which wasn't there then, would be on the left-hand side. Again, an additional image, foam training, Gray Rock Farm, with Eddie Massey in his famous pose, standing there with his hands behind his back. And the last image from the foam training on March 16th, 1957, we can see John Stewart with a nozzle at the foam can. Eddie Massey, Buck Delosier, Charles Klein Jr. are also in that particular picture. This is just an image taken in 1955 of the 1940 American LaFrance Engine 4 of the Ellicott City Volunteer Fire Department. Just a bit of trivia. I rode that probably a couple dozen times on the tailboard and as the officer. That particular vehicle now is in the Fire Museum in Lutherville. So I guess not only is that an antique, but I guess that makes me an antique as well. Just an image of the 1927 American LaFrance. That was a piece of equipment with Ellicott City, noted as Engine 1. Just another image taken in 1955 of the 1940 American LaFrance Engine 4 of the Ellicott City Volunteer Fire Department. This is just an image of George Massey, Eddie Massey, 1955 graduation of Howard High School. So he did indeed make it out of high school and went on to an illustrious career in Baltimore County Fire Department and as a volunteer at Ellicott City. And again, yet another image of the 1927 American LaFrance Engine 1 parked in the fire station on Main Street, 8390 Main Street. Pictured in 1955, this is the 1955 Chevrolet ambulance that was at the Clarksville Volunteer Fire Department in downtown Clarksville. This is another picture taken in 1955 of the Clarksville Volunteer Fire Department ambulance, 1955 Chevrolet unit that was again stationed at Clarksville. This image was taken on Rogers Avenue near Frederick Road. This is just a fender bender in 1953. On Route 40 at the Route 29 overpass. This image was taken in 1955. This is a 1953 International fire engine that belongs to the West Friendship Volunteer Fire Department, Engine 2. 1956, a civil defense drill at the Clarksville Junior High School. Personnel training for an exercise. This was actually a civil defense drill back in the day. There will be a series of images of a parade or muster of unknown origin or location. And these images will just be showing several fire service units, not of Howard County, but are kind of interesting to see units back in the day. Again, this is a 1956 unknown parade or muster, and this is the Newmarket Volunteer Fire Department. Looks like Engine 1. 1956 unknown parade or muster, and this is the Frostburg Volunteer Fire Department. Looks like it might be a ladder company with complete set of ladders, probably banger ladders, etc. This is the Frostburg Volunteer Fire Department unit. Another unit, 1956. Again, it's an unknown parade muster unit. I don't know what's an Aaron's Fox. It is certainly a unique unit as we are looking at the front of the vehicle. Again, 1956, unknown parade muster, but this is the Aberdeen Volunteer Fire Department Engine Company. 1956, unknown parade or muster, but the Lineborough Volunteer Fire Department unit. Next is the 1956, unknown parade or muster, but this is the Silver Spring Volunteer Fire Department unit. 1956, unknown parade muster, Woodboro Volunteer Fire Department Engine Company. 1956, unknown parade or muster, Sykesville Volunteer Fire Department unit, open cab. 1956, unknown parade or muster, New Midway Volunteer Fire Department. 1956, an unknown parade or muster location with the Mount Airy Volunteer Fire Department, Engine 1. 1956, civil defense drill at the Clarksville Junior High School. 1956, unknown parade or muster location, unknown unit. Again, 1956, unknown unit at a parade muster location. February 1957, a house burning detail on Ilchester Road, right to left, Captain B.H. Shipley Jr., Mrs. Shipley, Mr. and Mrs. Hank Erlin, and John Pfeiffer. In May of 1957, the 1963 International Fire Engine for West Friendship was involved in an accident on Frederick Road near Folly Quarter Road. Chief Molesworth was riding as the officer in the unit. Apparently it was a thunderstorm or whatever. They are responding to Brendels Park across from Manor Lane on Frederick Road. And as they were approaching Folly Quarter Road, a tree had fallen across Frederick Road, and the fire engine came upon it, applied the brakes, but slid into and under the tree. Fortunately, the tree stopped just before it entered the cab, and Chief Molesworth was spared any significant injuries. In February of 1957, there was a fire at the Parlett Gas Company, which is later known as Pargas Gas Company, at the intersection of Route 40 and Bethany Lane. Potentially, there was an explosion to the rear of the building. There were no known injuries, but certainly had a potential. May 1955, the Ellicott City Junior High School, May Court, with Lanice Story was the queen of that particular year at the May Court. February 1957, Captain B.H. Shipley Jr. at the scene of a house burning for training in Ilchester. February 1957, at the Parlett Gas Company, possible explosion at the location of Route 40 and Bethany Lane. In this particular image, you can see what appears to be debris from walls, etc., that had been blown out and were on the ground. Please use your remaining heartbeats wisely and not waste a single precious one.